All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Matthew Jackson. I appreciate you all taking the time out of your busy days. I know it's a Monday, so we all have things to do. So first and foremost, I'm going to talk about a thing that might be a little scary or intimidating to some. And no, I'm not talking about horror movies. I'm not talking about haunted houses or even the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, good.
I'm talking about attaining and using effective goals. See, if we set ourselves up and use the right goals, we remain on track, we hold ourselves accountable, and we become the people that we can be proud of one day. In the book, Your Best Year Ever, Michael Hyatt once said, "By reaching for what appears to be impossible, we often actually do the impossible. And even if we don't make it, we wind up better than what we would have done." See, to me, the impossible was becoming a U.S. Army soldier, whereas out of high school, I was a 250-pound kid with no goals or aspirations whatsoever. I had no purpose or direction, and I didn't feel the need to set goals for myself until one day the world came crashing down. You see, when I was living with my mom, our house became foreclosed, and all of a sudden I was still that 250-pound kid that didn't have any goals, that wasn't in school, and I was working at the movie theater for minimum wage. So I made the commitment, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, hey, I want to join the United States Army. Now, according to U.S. Army Regulation 600-9, I had to lose roughly 70 to 80 pounds to get there. In a dire situation, I wanted to get there as fast as humanly possible. So that meant me setting the goal of 1 year, I wanted to enlist in the United States Army. Meaning 1 year, I had to lose 70 to 80 pounds. So I became encompassed by my goal, and I did not allow myself to fail. And at times I altered my approach, and I learned to be adapted to this goal, and as it was becoming more incrementally difficult to accomplish. And over the course of 1 year, I did in fact accomplish my goal, and I enlisted in the United States Army. I was able to take my methodology of accomplishing goals, and I was able to apply it while I was also in the Army. I set the goal for myself to make the rank of sergeant within 3 years, which is what happened. And I continued to set those goals for myself throughout my civilian career as well. So, in the long short, I use goals as stepping stones to guide my way to accomplish my long-term goal. The short-term goals build the path to accomplish the long-term, as if the path, or if the end game were Oz, you'd be building the yellow brick road with your short-term goals. See, there was a man who grew up on the streets of Philadelphia. This man had always wanted to be an actor, but it was not going to be an easy journey for him. This man grew up in foster care. His speech was impaired from a birthing accident. He went to high school for the troubled youth, but inevitably he still wanted to be an actor. He went to the University of Miami, and he went to school in Switzerland too to become an actor. Although he did drop out, he continued to write plays. He acted in his local theaters. He swept the lion's dens in the local Central Park Zoo, and inevitably producers bought a screenplay that he wrote. And his goal was continued because he was also able to star in that featured film. That feature film was nominated for 10 Academy Awards and is today one of the most prolific boxing movies of all time. You see, Sylvester Stallone is one of the most reputable actors that we see to this day, acting in movies such as Rocky, The Expendables, Creed. He teaches us that through perseverance, through building the path of these short-term goals, he is able to accomplish his long-term goal. But Sylvester Stallone did not lose sight of the bigger picture. You see, when you're making your goals, you also have to keep in mind, and you have to hold on to the thing that matters to you the most, which is your long-term goal. So I'm a big nerd, and of course I'm going to reference something that's a little bit nerdy, and that's The Lord of the Rings. In The Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers Frodo, who is still trying to accomplish his long-term goal of destroying the One Ring that will rule them all, is being guided by a creature known as Gollum. In this film, Gollum refers to these distractions that could occur along the way as the lights. Because in the movie, the lights can actually drag you down and they can harm you, they can distract you, and they can prevent you from accomplishing your long-term goals. He urged to Frodo, do not go towards the lights. See, if we all are able to hold on to that thing to us that matters the most, which is our long-term goal, we won't go towards the lights. We'll see distractions and understand that it's not worth it. And understanding that holding on to your dreams is better than holding on to your nightmares, as Matshona Delano says. A way that we can actually gauge our long-term goals and gauge the effectiveness of it is using this technique known as the SMART technique. SMART is actually an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and within a certain time frame. See, between my experiences, Sylvester Stallone's experiences, and even Frodo Baggins' experiences, we can all see methods and examples of the SMART technique being used. We all know that there was one specific goal, whether that be burning down the One Ring that ruled them all, becoming an actor, or losing a set amount of weight. We know it's all attainable because it was in fact attained. It's realistic because it actually happened, except for in the fictional movie Lord of the Rings. And we know that it had to be within a certain time frame that we planned for ourselves. Using this guide provided to us by Chris Lang, we will be able to actually keep focus and not lose sight of these goals. So as the examples have shown, the common ground for staying on track, holding ourselves accountable, and taking pride in who we are and who we become can all revert back to the concept of setting goals. And learning to establish a set of goals has led me personally to live a successful life and a life where I'm constantly eager to do better each and every single day. And if you think of one thing that you want the most, if you use some short-term goals that can build the pathway along to your long-term goals, and you stay smart throughout your journey, you can use goals to your benefit as well.